Everyone is looking for the key to a successful YouTube channel, and within the last year and a half, I have learned so much about exactly that. Originally, I started this channel just to have some fun with my friends and help some people along the way, but as I've progressed through this journey, I have seen that I could build a community around this channel. So I decided to take this seriously, and I have seen huge growth within the last year. And although I'm not even close to where I want to be yet, I've made huge strides in the last year with some of this information that I'm about to share with you guys. So in this video, I wanted to go over some of the key takeaways from starting my automotive YouTube channel, as well as some things I'd probably do differently if I could start over. So the first thing that I want to share with you guys is, what equipment do you need to start an automotive YouTube channel? You really don't need fancy and expensive equipment to get started. I've been using an iPhone and a GoPro pretty much since I started this channel. I just recently upgraded to the iPhone 15 Pro, and that's kind of given me a little bit of better video quality than I started with. But overall, a lot of YouTubers will tell you that an iPhone does just fine. Next, you'll just need a computer with some video editing software. I've just been using my Lenovo Yoga, and this has done the trick. It's nothing fancy, it's a pretty cheap laptop, but I've got CapCut on it, and it's pretty much everything I need to edit my videos. I'd also recommend getting one of these. This is an external hard drive. I got this from a company called Seagate. It's got 2 terabytes on it, and pretty much this stores all of my videos. Next, you're going to need some cars to shoot. So most of my videos are of my C5 Corvette, but I've also had a ton of videos with my friends' cars as well. A lot of times I'll offer to help my friends work on cars, so that way I can shoot some videos and get some content for the channel. So really, this is a win-win. So don't be afraid to reach out to your friends and see if they can help you out. Lastly, I recommend getting a ring light if you're going to do any sit-down videos kind of like this, or if you're going to do some podcasts. I'd also recommend getting some decent lapel mics if you plan on talking a lot in your videos. Right now, I'm just recording on my iPhone 15 Pro, and so the sound isn't great, but I do plan on getting some DJI lapel mics later down the road because these are super beneficial and it makes your sound super crystal clear. Next, you need to pick your niche and figure out how you're going to stand out. When you first start your channel, you don't want to say that your niche is cars or performance cars because, guys, that's really broad and it's going to be really hard for the YouTube algorithm to figure out what you're trying to show people. When you first start out, you need to get extremely granular with your niche. So things like drift vlogs or classic car rebuilds or stance car fabrication, stuff like that is going to kind of funnel your audience into a more particular direction as opposed to just saying that your niche is cars. When I first started out, I made the mistake of pretty much just recording and posting every single car that I worked on, which was a huge mistake because I had things like Chevy Malibus, Ram 1500s, Chevy Tahoes. I had every car on my channel, and so YouTube wasn't able to figure out who to show my video to. Some of my videos would get tons of views and others would get like 4 views. So at this point, I needed to figure out what content I wanted to focus on. So I picked the C5 Corvette as like my main niche, but then I occasionally will do vlogs with like the limo or Marshall's 330i or Ryan's Mustang. And this kind of gives some variety to my videos, but most of the time my audience knows exactly what to expect. Just by doing this, I've seen my subscriber count jump significantly, and my video views are a lot more consistent than they used to be. And this is great for the growth of a YouTube channel. And as I get bigger, I can branch out a little bit more and I can kind of reach a more broad audience. But for now, while I'm still growing, I'm really going to focus on the C5 content because that seems to be the audience that YouTube is showing most of my videos to. And it's also content that I really enjoy making. The next thing that you have to think about is, how often are you going to post videos, and is it realistic with your current schedule? So right now I'm posting 1 long-form video per week because I'm also working a full-time engineering job, so things are pretty busy. With my current schedule, I think this is the max that I can do because I'm going to get burned out otherwise. And this is something that you really want to look out for when you start a YouTube channel because it is so easy to get burned out when you're working a full-time job and you're trying to balance a YouTube channel. And if you start losing motivation and you get burned out, then that's just not going to be good for anybody. So make sure that you look at your schedule and you make a realistic plan because you can be super hungry and motivated in the beginning, but over time it's going to dwindle and your YouTube channel is going to fizzle out. So make sure that you think about future you and you look out for your own mental health. But I would say that 1 video per week is probably the minimum that you should shoot for because if you don't do 1 video per week, then you're not going to see a huge amount of growth. And a lot of times your audience can get bored and start to forget about the channel. So you don't want that. So I'd say at least shoot for 1 video per week. But again, the schedule is going to be completely different for everybody. So pick what works for you and stick with it. And remember guys, consistency is key. Next, you want to focus on what your goal is for starting an automotive YouTube channel. My main goals for my YouTube channel are 1, to share all the knowledge I've learned in the past 10 years of working on cars, and 2, to help people out and entertain people with my videos. As a mechanical engineer, learning is one of my favorite hobbies, and I feel like I've gotten pretty good over the past few years at explaining things to people. So with this YouTube channel, I really want to use that and educate people where I can, and kind of pay it forward after all the times that people have helped me in the past. And obviously money is a huge motivator when it comes to YouTube channels, but if this is your main motivator and your main goal, you're not going to make it very far. Especially for the first year, you're probably not going to make anything from your YouTube channel, and even then, after a couple years, you're not going to be making a ton of money. I just started making money from views this year, and 100% of my income from YouTube is getting reinvested into the channel. And I do this so that way I can buy new filming equipment, so that way the channel can progress. Trust me guys, you don't want to start a journey without having any idea where you're going. And don't get me wrong guys, this goal can change a lot over time, but before you start your YouTube channel, you at least want to give yourself a direction and have a conversation with yourself early on about what your goals are. Now finally, I want to share with you guys some of my key takeaways that I've learned within the last year and a half. The first one is just start posting. The best way to learn is to just start doing it guys. Like I just picked up my camera, started recording, and started editing. A lot of times your videos are not going to come out very good, but the only way to get better is to continue to practice. The next one is to get onto a schedule and stick to it. Like I said before, consistency is key, especially when it comes to YouTube. It's extremely important that you hold yourself accountable and you continue to post even when you don't feel like it. The next thing is to try and do one thing better in every single new video than in your last video. If you can just do one thing better every single video, it's going to compound and you're going to see huge growth within just a year. Especially when you're starting out, make it your goal to just improve one thing every single video. Next, take advice from your subscribers and reply to all your comments. I can't tell you guys how many times I've seen YouTubers completely ignore the people in their comments. And that's super sad to see because they're taking time out of their day to engage with your video and help boost your content to other people. So take the time to reply and try your best to help people out. This isn't to say that you have to reply to every single comment, but if somebody's giving you good information or if they're asking a really good question, make sure to reply to those ones because who knows, they might turn into your biggest fan later down the road. To add on to this, it's super important to go out into the community and collab and make new friends. So go to car shows and car meets and race events and everything that you possibly can and promote your channel and make new friends because guys, this is a huge benefit when it comes to growing your YouTube channel. And people love to watch videos made by people that they know in real life, so make some new friends. Another key takeaway is to script all of your videos and plan if you can. Just writing a basic script to keep your thoughts aligned is super beneficial, especially when you're making a video with a ton of information. Because there's nothing worse than going to post your video and you realize you forgot major details that you wanted to add in. Obviously, sometimes you can't do this with things like vlog style videos, but if you're going to be giving people a lot of information, make sure to script your video. Now, the last one is be authentic and don't be afraid to embarrass yourself. When you first start out, it's really weird talking to the camera, and I used to hate listening to my voice on voice recordings. But over time, you'll get used to it and you'll get much more comfortable in front of the camera. And yes, guys, sometimes you're going to embarrass yourself, but that's just part of the game. So don't let that hold you back from making a killer video. But there you have it, guys. Those are just some of the things that I've learned in the past year and a half of making my automotive YouTube channel. And just remember, guys, that when you tell people you're going to make a YouTube channel, some people are going to laugh at you, some people aren't going to believe in you, but you have to be your #1 supporter and you have to trust yourself more than anybody else. But trust me, once you climb that first mountain and you start to get the momentum going, you're going to feel much better. Because guys, it's really shitty in the beginning, but you just have to grit your teeth and keep chugging along. But let me know in the comments below what your channel's about and when you started. And if there's any other tips that you can think of, leave them below to help somebody out. And if this video helped you out, make sure to subscribe to the channel because my goal is to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of 2024 and we're almost there. But again, guys, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for future content. I'll catch you guys next week. Later.